What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to make a really quick video for how to start your first campaign with Kuma. Not necessarily, I'm not going to go through the whole process of actually submitting the creatives to like Propellerads and all that stuff, but I wanted to show you just the basics to get set up. A lot of people, when they first get into internet marketing, at least when I did, I started with something like Propellerads. It's like a really low barrier to entry kind of traffic. It's like push notification traffic or pop unders or whatever. And I just wanted to give a quick example of how to set that up inside of Kuma. It's very, very easy to do. Once you install it, I have installation guides already, that kind of stuff. And Propeller is exceptionally easy because it tracks cost by actually sending you the click cost. So this isn't like a Meta or a Google where you have to integrate the APIs and all that, which I also have videos for. So this is going to be a very quick video. Should be under 10-ish minutes. On how to set up with Propeller. I'll go over a few basic tracking things as well, just to kind of get your mind wrapped around what's happening here. So inside of Kuma, this is a new installation on just like a throwaway domain that I bought, that I own. And I just wanted to show you kind of like right now, it's a blank, okay? There's like nothing in here. There's like nothing in the integrations. Like everything's kind of just what it is. And by the way, Kuma does have an API now. There's going to be a whole video on this too. This is a version 1.14, which is now available. Actually has full API integration. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to integrate an offer link into here, set up your click tokens correctly, set up tracking correctly for postbacks to Propellerads, and then how you'd set it up in Propellerads. Okay, and we're just going to direct link to an offer. We're going to assume that there's no landing page in between or anything like that. So the first thing you're going to want to do in here is you're going to want to get, normally you'd want to get set up in traffic sources, but you're going to notice that for Propeller, we already have one. And there's some things to note in here very specific about Propeller. I'm not going to use this postback template in here. I'm actually going to show you where to set it in another place. But these are the tokens that I have preset Kuma with for Propellerads, okay? And what you want to take note of is the positioning of a specific token. In this case, the sub ID. This is a click token that Propeller generates when a user comes to you. They generate a unique click ID that will match that user's click in their platform. This is how all trackers work, and most traffic sources. They generate a token or a click ID, and they send that to us, and we capture that click ID, and then we generate our own click ID in Kuma, and we send that to the offer or the back end of the campaign. So just to keep this very simple, it's a 3-step process, okay? Your traffic source is Propellerads, your tracker is Kuma, and your offer is whatever network you're working with. And there's going to be 2 click IDs in here. There's going to be a click ID that gets generated from Propeller and a click ID that gets generated from Kuma. And the one that we send through is Kuma. So it goes like this. Somebody clicks on your ad, they get sent to Kuma, which captures and logs the click ID and all the other information that you see here. Campaign ID, device name, token, OS version, all that stuff. And then Kuma generates a click ID and sends that to your offer when the person goes through. And if they convert, the Kuma click ID is sent back to Kuma, which then finds that user and marks them as converted, and then will fire that user's unique click ID that Propeller generated back to Propeller through your postback to them, so that everybody shows converted in the process. Okay, so it just matches the user along the way. So take note that this is token 3, and that will make sense to you here in a moment. So that's fine. We're set up good on our traffic source. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to start by doing 2 things inside of Kuma. First, we're going to need to add an offer. Currently, we don't have an offer. So let's add one. And I made this little fake demo offer. It's not real. I could go get something from all the common networks, like a smart link or whatever, but we're not actually going to care about that. So we're just going to grab this and we're going to paste it into the offer URL section. Okay. And up here, we're just going to call this like test offer. Okay. And then in the sub one, most networks want you to send your click ID, your Kuma click ID, the tracker's click ID. So in that case, we're going to put click ID on here. And this is the one that Kuma generates, not the one that Propeller generates. Okay. Propeller is different. It generates a different token than this that we capture. So this is the Kuma generated click ID, which we'll go over here in a second. So, okay. So in this case, you know what though? I want to be able to follow this through. So maybe instead, let's do something like, I guess this is fine. I was going to say like just Google or something, but that's fine. We're not going to set any availability schedule. Remember, I went over this in other videos. You can actually set availability schedules, daily caps, all that stuff. We're not going to care about any of that. We're just going to make sure that our click ID was established on here, and we're going to save this offer into Kuma. So now we have this offer ready to go, but we don't have a campaign for it. And also, before we create our campaign, I'm going to show you something about Propellerads. So right now, this is just a basic one of my Propellerads accounts. I have a couple, and this one I've just like not really worked with, so I have it down to like $10. Anyway, what you're concerned about here is tracking, okay? And there's all these different trackers you can select from. Kuma's not in here. It's new enough that it's not even in here. They may never put us in here. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But here's what you can do. You can just select any of them. It doesn't really matter. Even Zaydu or whatever. I don't really care. Or CPA Network. What you want is this. This is where you copy your S2S pixel. This is the postback that we're going to send Propellerads click back to them when we show a converted user. I'll show you what that means here in a second. And if you want to learn more about the macros and what they do, you click this little link and it will take you here, and you can go to available tokens. And this shows you what each of the tokens we're capturing inside of Kuma is doing and the information we're receiving. So when a user clicks our campaign link inside of Propellerads and they come to Kuma, we capture all of this stuff here. And if you remember, what I said was we were capturing the unique click ID in custom slot 3 inside of Kuma, and that's going to matter here in just a second. I'll show you why. But here's all the other stuff you get that you can you'll be able to sort by in your stats view to be able to look at what's going on. So back in Kuma, what we did here is we copied this S2S, and let's put it in here just so you can see what it looks like. So this is how Propellerads wants you to post back conversions to them so that they can show it. These are variables that are specific to Zaydu because that's what I selected, but you see this is a visitor ID. And I'll show you in a second what that's going to be. And then an amount. They want like a cost or like how much the conversion was worth. So we're going to take this URL right here, and we're going to head back to Kuma, and we're going to go to settings, integrations, and you're going to scroll down past Google to custom. Okay. And we're going to add a custom post back here. And sorry, when I hit it, it actually scrolled me. You got to scroll down the page. And let's call this Propellerads like main pixel or something. That's fine. And then here's where you're going to put that pixel. Okay, and now you're going to need to add a couple of variables to this for it to work. So in the visitor ID slot, what it wants back is the ID they sent us. That's token 3. I'll explain in just a second. And the amount, we're going to use a built-in token for value. That's how much the conversion's worth to us. So the reason why we want token 3 here is because, like I said, when somebody clicks to add from Propellerads and they come to Kuma, their unique ID that was generated by Propellerads is in the token 3. I showed you that earlier in the video. If you want to go back under the traffic sources, I put it in 3. It's mapped to custom 3. So this means that the visitor ID that we're going to post back from Kuma is going to be the one that Propellerads sent to us. So we're making sure that we match their system. But that is not the custom click ID that Kuma generates for this user. That is click ID, which is in those built-in tokens. That's what we send to, say, Zaydu. And then Zaydu would post back to us our click ID, and then this would fire past that. So it's like a little chain. And this lets Propeller know that that user converted. So what we're going to do is we're going to create that post back. And now we have a custom post back set in here for our Propellerads pixel. So now we can go back to creating our campaign. We have an offer, we have the traffic source, we have the pixel. So back in campaigns, we can go ahead and just hit create on the new, and we're going to get the new, what I call it, wizard, the new wizard. Let's just go ahead and play around with this and call it like Propellerads, or like Propellerads test campaign 1, right? It doesn't really matter because we're not actually going to do anything with it. Status is active. Default CPC, we don't need. I'll show you why in a second. We don't have a group set up for this. That's just in settings. You can create groups so you can group all your campaigns together. Cloaking, we're going to blank the refer, and we're just going to use the main tracker domain, which is this one, but we can set up unlimited domains. And then in here, you're going to select the traffic source as Propellerads. Minimum fire, payout to fire post back. This is very cool for something like Meta or Google. You can actually tell Kuma to show you the conversions inside of your campaign here, but don't fire the pixel back to the traffic source unless it's over a certain volume of money. The reason that you do that is you can help train your pixel to target better pockets of traffic and people by only showing it higher value conversions. Like don't show it $5 conversions, don't show it $10 conversions. That's actually settable here as an optional thing, but we're not going to do that here. And as you see, custom postbacks, we have Propellerads as our main pixel, the one we just went and set. So what this is telling Kuma in this campaign is when this campaign receives a conversion, I need you to fire this pixel additionally on top of it. So like when we receive our postback from our network or our end source, I need you to then go to this mapped pixel and fire it back with this information for that user. That's what this is doing, okay? So that would conclude that. Now we have our offer. We have different flow types. In this particular flow type, it's just straight to offer. So we're just going to run that, and it would be equal at 100%. We're not going to use a fallback offer. This fallback offer is set when you have cap or day parting on an offer. It's a little more advanced. It allows the system to always have something to fall back to send the user to if all your other offers are exhausted. So that's all that's for. In this case, it doesn't matter. And then custom advanced tokens or redirect rules, we're not doing anything here. Campaign slugs, we're not doing anything here. Essentially, this lets you do custom campaign tokens that you capture for a specific campaign, and then you can create redirect rules based on any of those tokens. You can select any token inside of this campaign and customs, and then you can say if it equals, not equals, and you can send those users wherever you want. Sorry, I thought I paused my notifications. For some reason, I'm still getting them. Okay, and you can send those users basically wherever you want them or do things with them uniquely based on redirect rules. So, but we're not going to get into that complicated of campaign setup. We're just going to keep this basic. Next, and then here's kind of what it's telling you you're getting ready to create, and then create, and it takes you to the overview. This is the edit screen. This is like the classic editor, but your campaign is now created. So we have everything we need, blank refer, traffic source. We're using the main token, our offers selected, and here at the bottom is your campaign link. Okay, this is what you're gonna actually put into Propellerads. So let's open this up and take a look at our campaign link. So if you look closely at this campaign link, it's broken up by, we have our main campaign, then we have, look, cost, value, all these things, zone ID, cost, sub ID, right? All of these things that we're capturing are going to be mapped correctly based on how we've laid out the traffic source. It's already laid out for you. So this is actually the link that you would paste into your Propellerads. So let's go back to Propellerads. That's the wrong one. And let's say we were creating a campaign in Propellerads. Let's say we were doing a classic push campaign. The campaign name, by the way, I often straight copy. So like for organization. So let's say that we were doing that. Keep going to that one, dang it. Let's say that we were doing that. We would just do it like this, right? And that'd be our like straight campaign push. I just be going classic push in my case, smart CPC. Here's the point. Here's where I wanted to get to. This is where you would be pasting this in. Okay. And now look, see how these all lit up blue? That's because it's detecting that we're capturing those variables already inside of our link. Okay. Look, if I get rid of it again, they'll all go away. So we're capturing all of that. And now this is correct. It's going to go through Kuma and take them to the offer, and it's going to capture all those variables, okay? So that's how it would work. The rest of this, this isn't necessarily a guide about setting up a propeller campaign. If you guys want me to do a guide on that, I can, like a full setup for like how I do, you know, if I was to bid this in the curve where I would, and like that kind of thing, platform selection and whatnot. That's kind of like a different story. That's like actually setting up a traffic source, like physically doing Propellerads, or like physically setting up a campaign in Meta or something. This whole guide was supposed to be like just 10 minutes on just showing you how you set everything up in Kuma to get going, and then what it looks like on your dashboard. So another thing too I wanted to point out, and I am going to change this because it's a little bit different on the dashboard. On the dashboard, we have a couple of different slots. We have total views, this is total people that came into the campaign, clicks, this is for landing page campaigns, and direct. So if you were looking at this in overview and say you were like splitting people, half people going to landing page and half the people going to direct, you could see both here. It would show you both. And if we do a group, let me go ahead and show you what a group looks like. If we go to settings and we go to campaign groups and we create a group, let's just call this something like, I don't know, let's imagine this was like a auto campaign or something, like an auto, like insurance. I don't even want to do that. I guess auto's fine. So let's just say auto. We'd save the group. Right now we have a group. Back in campaigns, we could go to the editor, and then we could say auto group, scroll down and save it. And then back on our dashboard, you're going to see a folder icon. See this? So, and when you open it, all of your campaigns will open underneath it. Same thing on the campaigns view. You're going to have auto, and then everything will open underneath it. The reason why is because let's say that you're running auto as an entire like a niche, and you have it like 20 campaigns for it. Sometimes you want to have a very quick overview of all your campaign's performance together today and combined ROI. And you can do that with this. So this group will show you the combined views, clicks, conversions, costs, revenue, and ROI for everything under the auto category in the tracker today. So like if you had 10 campaigns, all different stats, this would be a cumulative view of how much you've made on auto today. So that's what this is for. That's what groups are for. And then you can easily go and delete the group as well if you want. It's not a big deal. It will just, and then when you go back to the dashboard, it will just pull it out of the view. Oh, did I not click? I must have not clicked go. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I set rules that you couldn't do it. It's funny. I forget what I even did for myself. You can't remove a group. You can't remove anything as long as there's campaigns in it. This is the same way with offers and landing pages too, by the way. It's meant to protect you from yourself, like it just did for me. Um, like if you go to delete an offer and campaigns are using it, it won't let you do that because like that campaign would essentially be broken. So there we go. What? Okay. Oh, all right then. I guess I already deleted it. So anyway, now it's out of there. So it's out of the group now and it's back to normal, right? But this is how this campaign, this is how it works. You can also quickly get a link in an overview like this. You can get a flyout and you can select your tracking domain and it will give you your link here too. You don't necessarily have to go into the campaign. You have stats view, you have cloning it, you have this one, which is resetting it, all this stuff. And then you have the stats view page where you're going to be able to view all of your performance and statistics. You'll be able to select any of the tokens you were sent about devices, country codes, whatever you receive. But that's the basics of setting up a really, really basic campaign, okay? I just reached the 15-minute mark, so I wanted to make sure I don't overbloat this video. But that's the basics, okay? Landing page would be very similar. You would be in the landing page section. You would add a landing page to your... Let's just do one as just a fake test, right? Like fake lander. And then let's just do like Google or something. TTPS. Yeah, let's just do like Google or something. I don't really care. And then create my landing page. Now I have a fake lander. Back in my campaigns, I could go to the editor. I could go down and I could change my flow to this and I could select my fake lander landing page and then we could update our campaign. Now you would need to have this landing page there and you would need to add the click code to your landing page. This code would have to be at the bottom of the body and this would be your button, your CTA and all that, but the link would still be the same. It wouldn't change inside of Propellerads or whatever. And then that's how you would run that. And in this case, I'll just head back to direct to offer and then it removes the landing page portion completely. But anyway, okay guys, that's it for like a very generic basic setup to get you off the ground. I mean, Kuma, you can install this thing in like 10 minutes if you know how to set it up on a cPanel like the video I showed. You could be up and running from no tracker to fully tracking Propellerads in like 15 minutes. You could do it on like a $20 a month server. And you can install unlimited of these. So you can point tracking domains at it, unlimited pixels. I mean, you can do whatever you want here. So, oh, last thing I forgot to cover was cost. Cost will be automatically pushed through on this campaign because Propeller does put cost through the link. So you will be receiving cost too. Cost will show in the dashboard and be updated real time as you get clicks. So that's pretty much it. That's a really simple overview of how to run set up a very basic campaign in Kuma that's direct to your offer, your smart link, whatever you got. Set it up inside of Propellerads and get a campaign rolling. The only thing I didn't show you was putting in creatives and stuff like that, which, like I said, in the future I could do. It's not a big deal if you guys want me to do that to show it, but that's it. Set it up, fire it up, and get campaigns rolling. Like I said, super easy to do. So I hope that helped you guys out, and I'm going to keep making more videos on Kuma. The next ones will be more advanced, setting up how to add on tracking domains. I plan to make videos for essentially everything, okay? So don't worry, this channel will eventually become full, this YouTube channel, of how-tos and guides on how to use this. The API, everything. So I appreciate everybody who's using it so far and has given me feedback. There's a lot of people off of YouTube that are using it that are providing me feedback. So anybody in YouTube who wants to give me feedback through the comments or ask questions, I'm wide open to answer any of it. Once again, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next part where we do some more advanced stuff. See ya.